Good evening, Eagle Scouts, parents, leaders, guests. On behalf of the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, welcome to the 2020 Eagle Scout Recognition Dinner and the Eagle Scout honoring the class of 2019. Can you hear me now? My name is Andy Gibson. I am an Eagle Scout from the class of 1984 from Troop 92 in Weymouth. I'm a member of the Mayflower Council Executive Board and I serve as chairman of the National Eagle Scout Association for the Council. I am pleased to serve as your MC for this evening. I want to thank everyone who had signed up to join us at Lake Pearl in person. I and the members of the committee thank you for all your patience as we made our way through this very crazy time. With everything going on in our nation right now, I cannot think of a better time or more important time to celebrate the Eagle Scout. What a wonderful world it would be if everyone, not just the Boy Scouts, but if everyone followed the Scout Oath and the Scout Law every day. I would like to introduce the following Eagle Scouts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout Oath, and Scout Law. They are Jaden Revell, Steve Anderson, Mike Anderson, and they're all from Troop 31 and all from the Eagle Scout class of 2019. Following the opening, we will acknowledge the 12th point of the Scout Law. A Scout is reverent. The Very Reverend John Bacon will do the invocation. Father John is an Eagle Scout from the class of 1965. He is a member of the Mayflower Council Advisory Board and has served as both the chaplain for Camp Squanto and the council. He is also a 2015 recipient of the NISA Outstanding Eagle Scout Award.
Hello, I'm Jaden Revell from 231 Bridgewater, and I will be leading you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, free, for all. 2.
My name is Mike from Troop 31 in Bridgewater. Please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2.
I'm Steven from Troop 31 for Bridgewater. Please cite the Scout. Bow with me. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, convenient, modest. 2.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to our rather unusual gathering for the recognition of the Eagle Scouts of 2019 going into 2020. Thank you all for coming here this day. When we gathered together today for this kind of occasion, I always remember those people that helped me along the Eagle Trail. They say it takes about 100 people. I remember my first Scoutmasters that helped me, members of the committee, my mother, people that had a lot of influence upon my life and said, keep on going. Especially a friend of mine from an adjacent town we were both senior patrol leaders, and by his example as a peer tutor, he pushed me toward becoming an Eagle Scout. What I like to do now is remember those people, especially in the Old Colony Council, people such as Bob Downey, that were distinguished Eagle Scouts, and all those who have fallen asleep in the hope of God's love, I'd like to have a moment of silence before I begin a prayer. Let us pray. O Lord our God, we remember all those who along the Eagle Trail have helped us accomplish this goal. We thank you for gathering us together here this day in this rather unusual manner. We ask your continued blessing to be upon our council, upon our camps, and upon all of our youth and volunteers. Watch over them and guide them and give them strength. Bless our time together and bless us in the future. Amen.
Thank you, Scouts, and thank you, Father Bacon. This is the third annual Eagle Scout Recognition Dinner of the Mayflower Council. We feel it is important to take the time to do this. Our committee has been working very hard to bring this event to you. When we had heard about the meeting not being able to happen in person, the committee voted unanimously to host a virtual event. When we learned we could also feed you dinner, we thought even better. So hopefully those of you who ordered dinner are enjoying it. I hope for all the Eagles sponsored guests that are signed up to attend the dinner, we would like to thank and give a shout out to Revco Catering. So hopefully you're enjoying that dinner. It is very exciting to see over 350 Eagle Scouts, sponsors, Scout leaders, parents, and other family members and distinguished guests tuned into this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of the Eagle Scout class of 2019. 331 young men attained the rank of Eagle Scout in the Mayflower Council in 2019. Back in August of 2019, when the NISA committee chose this date for our dinner, no one would have ever imagined that we would be in a worldwide pandemic and that the world would not be able to gather together as a scouting community. However, Scouts and scouting is resilient. And as they say, the show must go on. So here we are virtually. Thank you for tuning in and joining us tonight. In 2019, the Eagle Scouts from the Mayflower Council performed 49,483 Eagle Scout service hours. Congratulations and good scouting. I would now like to introduce the president of the Mayflower Council, Mike Rotar, to give some welcoming remarks. Mike is an executive with TJX in Framingham. He is an Eagle Scout from the class of 1985, a committee member with Troop 156 in Weston, and is the proud father of an Eagle Scout. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Rotar.
Hi, my name is Mike Rotar, Mayflower Council President. Welcome to the NISA Eagle Scout Awards Recognition Banquet. It's my privilege and honor to welcome you here tonight, and especially to all of those youth who in the year 2019 achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations. As I reflect upon what it means to be an Eagle Scout, first let me remind everyone here that only 4% of all Scouts in the United States achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. It represents setting goals and achieving goals. It represents hard work, service to others, citizenship, and perseverance. When I think about what it means to be an Eagle Scout, I think about a time when I was a Scoutmaster and one of the young men that I was leading earned the rank of Eagle Scout and some of his experiences. His name was Eric, and after achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, he had a job that he was doing during high school, working at a local gas station. At one point, a number of people were actually stealing from the owner of the gas station. The owner asked the people to stop multiple times and told them that if it didn't stop, that eventually they would be let go and fired. One day, Eric went to work to find everybody there gone but him and the owner. When he asked the owner what had happened, the owner said, "I fired all of them." When Eric asked why he had not been let go, the owner replied, "Because I know that you're an Eagle Scout and I know that you are honest." Eagle Scouts embody the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. You are here tonight because you embody those ideals and characteristics. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for your leadership. Now we will hear from an Eagle Scout from yesteryear, Major Richard J. Keogh, U.S. Army retired. I was actually on staff in the early 1980s when I first met Major Keogh. I have very fond memories of those times. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Major Keogh. He was raised in Medway, Massachusetts. He was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout and achieved the rank of Eagle Scout in 1949. He also received a Gold Palm for earning 10 extra merit badges. He attended and worked on camp staff at Camp Child through his high school and college years. In addition, while a member of the Army, he staffed Camp Child for 30 days every year when stationed stateside. He is one of the 4 original Vigil Honor members in Manomet Lodge and a recipient of the NISA Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. Mr. Keogh is a generous supporter of the Mayflower Council and is a member of the Camp Squanto Alumni Association. He is a frequent visitor and supporter of camp each summer. He has also provided you all with a flashlight pen that you'll be receiving in the mail. Major Keogh lives in Hawaii 8 months of the year, where he's joining us tonight. Hello, Major Keogh. He is very involved in scouting in Honolulu, where he received the Silver Beaver and the Order of the Arrow Founders Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Keogh.
It's a pleasure to be here, even if we're doing this virtually. I'd rather be in a room where I could see you all, but that's not going to happen this year. They've asked me to say a few words about earning Eagle in the 40s and 50s, because I'm one of the few survivors that are left from that period. Now, you have to understand that everything was much smaller and closer together in those days. There were 26 towns in the original Old Colony Council. And we had the Eagle Board twice a year in May and November. And if you didn't make it in those months, you waited until the next one. Now, some of the old walruses will tell you how terrible hard it was for Earn Eagle in the old days. That's a lot of nonsense. There were 2 requirements. The first was to serve in your unit showing the Scout Oath and Law for 6 months. The second one was 21 merit badges, of which 12 were required, not 13 like you have to earn today. And they're just those 2 requirements. No project, no leadership requirement, no essay that your mother had to help you write, and no Scoutmasters Conference where you were coached throughout the board. So it was vastly different. But in many ways, it was the same. You were asked to talk about your experiences to the board, and you were asked to give examples of what you wanted to do in future once you had earned the Eagle. Now, earning it was not all that easy either. To get swimming and life-saving merit badges, both of which were required, you had to go to camp. There was no indoor pool anywhere in the Old Colony Council. So the only way you could get life-saving and swimming was to go to camp. And that meant going in on Sunday afternoon and getting out 2 weeks later on Sunday morning, 15 days. And of course, you didn't have a cell phone, you didn't have Wi-Fi, you didn't have any video games. The only electric item you had was a 2-cell flashlight, and that was burned out by Tuesday night. So you had to go to camp, and the merit badges were only available there. Now, I mentioned that there was only 2 requirements. nothing about age. You could earn your Eagle at any age. And it was not at all unusual at camp to see a troop committee man or an assistant scoutmaster who was a World War II veteran down at the dock earning his life-saving merit badge to qualify for Eagle. You could earn your Eagle at any age. The 18-year-old requirement came in 1967, but that's another story, and I'll tell it to you later if you're at all interested. Now, when you look at the merit badges that were required in those days, there was one civics merit badge instead of 3 citizenship badges, and there were several in there like pathfinding that don't exist anymore, and pioneering that are required, that were required in those days that are no longer required. So a great many of the merit badge requirements were much different from today. One of the few that's still required is cooking, and of course swimming. And so some of the things have stayed exactly the same. Now there were 2 boards, as I mentioned, every year, and we would have about 16 or 18 candidates at each board. Some of the ones I remember very well were people like Leo Palmer, class of 1950, who was the 1 millionth paratrooper and was a teacher and a coach in the Stuttgart American High School for 30 years after that. People like Roy Hill, who graduated from Dartmouth, and because he spoke excellent Spanish, the company that hired him sent him to Quebec to speak French. The big business is much the same as it always was. But Roy did very well. In fact, he passed away fairly early, but he left $6 million to Dartmouth. I hope somebody in this group is going to Dartmouth to tap into that scholarship fund that Roy Hill left. There were people who didn't go quite as far away. People like Jim Fitzpatrick, who was class, I think, of 53. He was the fire chief for many, many, many years in Canton, his hometown. Grew up, stayed there, and served in an exemplary fashion for his whole life. There are some that are still around with us. There are people like Bill Levin, who's somewhere out there watching it tonight. He's usually there at the dinner. Bill helped build the nuclear Navy, the modern nuclear Navy. He was a brilliant engineer and a trusted assistant to Admiral Rickover, and he made his contribution in the most unique and exemplary fashion. Oh, by the way, he also was chairman of the Eagle Board for about 20 years while he was helping build the nuclear Navy. There are a great many people in the late 50s and all through the 60s who sat before Bill at the Eagle Board. So we had some contemporaries and peers who went on to do great things. Now I look at this group tonight, and you're seeing all sorts of things. You're holding a camera in your hands, a phone, and it's a computer that's more powerful than they had in 1969 when they sent a man to the moon. There's more computing power in that cell phone you're holding in your hands right now. So the current generation is building great things too. Your generation will build great things. Your generation will do wonderful things that you don't even know about now or haven't even thought about yet. But I have every confidence that you will make contributions just as good as the ones that my generation made and that the generation in between has made. So all I can say is that you have earned your eagle. Go on to the next goal and get at it. Thanks for hearing me.
Thank you, Major Keogh. We thank you and salute you for your service to our country and to Scouting. When talking with the committee about a keynote speaker for this celebration, I thought about who in our Scouting community that I knew who was a huge influence on the people he serves and still lives to the Scouting ideals. I am sure that when Chief Fuller said yes to speaking at this event back in December, he had no idea he would be here virtually tonight. I had the honor of being in Troop 92 in Weymouth, growing up with Rick Fuller. He was a class act then and still is today. Let me tell you a little bit about Chief Rick Fuller. He was born and raised in Weymouth and currently lives there with his wife and 2 children. He's a member of PAC 92 and then Troop 92. Rick served our country as a combat medic in the U.S. Army Reserve during Operation Desert Storm. He earned his bachelor's degree from Curry College in criminal justice. Rick then earned his master's degree from the University of Massachusetts at Lowell in criminal justice. He is an FBI National Academy graduate. After returning home from active duty, he took the police exam and was hired a short time later at the Weymouth Police Department. Rick worked his way up through the ranks and currently serves as the 10th Chief of Police in the history of the Weymouth Police Department. I hope you can see now why I thought he would be a great speaker for tonight's event. I am so proud to call this man my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Police Chief Ricky Fuller.
The phone was always neat. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rick Fuller. I'm currently the Chief of Police at the Weymouth Police Department. I'd like to thank Andy Gibson for inviting me to speak at this year's annual Eagle Dinner. Unfortunately, we can't be together tonight due to the coronavirus, but in true Boy Scout fashion, we'll improvise, adapt, adjust, and overcome. When Andy called me and asked me to be the guest speaker tonight, my first response was, Andy, you do remember that I never made Eagle Scout, right? And we kind of laughed, and then as we got talking, I realized maybe I'm the perfect person to speak to tonight. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life to this day. I actually have 3 brothers that were in Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts with me, and all 3 of them attained Eagle Scout. So I know what it means. I especially now, I understand the mistake that I made by not finishing. I think that what I want to get across here tonight is the profound effect that Boy Scouts had on my life, and to this day still has on my life. And I'm not sure you'll even realize it until you get older. You'll really appreciate, and as you go through life, you'll realize that things you learned in Boy Scouts will help you immensely. I'm going to give you a few examples. I actually took a kind of a walk down memory lane when Andy asked me to do this, and I dug deep into some boxes, and I still have my Boy Scout handbook, and I read through it again, and as memorable as the first day is, I opened it up. I'll treasure this for the rest of my life. So a bit about why Boy Scouts had such a profound effect on my life. When I left Boy Scouts, I wouldn't say left, I didn't complete my Eagle Scout because I got wrapped up in sports at school. I was a decent soccer player and a decent lacrosse player, and I got wrapped up in it, and I faded away for some reason. So after high school, I went to college for a bit, and at some point, it was during Operation Desert Storm, I said, I need to do something. I kind of felt this calling, and similar to what you feel in Boy Scouts, a team, wanted to be part of a team and wanted to do what's right. And like the Boy Scout oath says, do my duty to God and my country. So I went down to the local Army office and I signed up, and I became a combat medic about 2 months before Operation Desert Storm kicked off in around 1990. So I left for basic training, and almost instantly I knew the profound effect Boy Scouts would have. Just so many things about uniforms and knot tying, and I learned how to swim in Boy Scouts. In fact, I know Jim Cochran's out there. I found this, my mile swim certificate signed by Jim Cochran. Hi, Jim. Little things, firearms. I learned how to shoot a rifle, firearm safety. I learned how to live in a tent. It seems so silly, but when I got to basic training, at the end of basic training, I slept in a tent for a week, along with a hole in the ground, a foxhole. And guys in my platoon used to joke to me, "Oh, I bet you're in Boy Scouts," because I was the only one that could start a fire. I was the only one that could set up a tent. My uniform was always neat. I really believe I learned a lot of leadership skills from Boy Scouts that I carried with me into Army basic training. Public speaking, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without having to get up in front of a bunch of Boy Scouts and speak, because like a lot of other people, I'm terrified of public speaking. From there, I got out of the Army and I took the police test, and I was fortunate enough, I never went overseas, but I was activated and I spent time at Fort Sam Houston, and I ended up getting veterans preference, which helped me. I got on the police job when I was 24 years old, fresh out of the Army. And again, I went to police academy, and again, all these small things that I learned in Boy Scouting stayed with me in police academy. This all the same stuff: uniforms, leadership, esprit de corps. I probably could go on, and I know I'm going to miss something, but I can't express enough the profound effect that Boy Scouts has had on my life. I have some fond memories of Boy Scouts. Most of you probably don't remember Camp Child, but we used to spend every summer down at Camp Child. I know Andy spent whole summers at Camp Child. It was some of the best weeks of my life. One of my best memories is swimming the mile swim across Maury's Hole and knowing that there was a giant snapping turtle in the pond. I never swam so fast in my life. And I know for a fact that turtle was there because we caught it one day at this place called the Protestant Chapel, and it was a big snapping turtle. So here I am today as the chief of police. I owe a lot to where I am in scouting. Again, probably one of the biggest regrets of my life is not finishing Eagle Scout. If there's anyone out there listening that is on the cusp of finishing your Eagle Scout, you're a Life Scout like I was, and all you had to do was an Eagle project, buckle down, get it done, and you'll appreciate it later in life. And honestly, as you grow older, all of you out there, especially the Eagle Scouts from last year's Eagle Scouts, you'll 20, 30, 40 years from now, you look back and you'll appreciate what you've accomplished even more. So always remember the Scout Oath, the Scout Law. Remember the skills you've had from scouting, especially the leadership skills. Apply them all in every facet of your life. Remember, when you take an oath, it means you'll do your utmost to live up to the high standards that you set for yourself. Be physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Congratulations to all this year's award winners, and the 331 Eagle Scouts from the class of 2019. Thank you all very much for the privilege and honor of speaking to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Fuller, so much. You're an inspiration for all the Scouts throughout the Council. Next, I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, John Larney. John is a member of the Mayflower Council Executive Board. When he's not volunteering for the Boy Scouts, he is the State Quartermaster and Chief Executive Officer for the Veteran of Foreign Wars, Department of Massachusetts. John will be presenting the VFW Scout of the Year.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Scouts and Scouters, and especially the Eagle Scout class of 2019. As Andy mentioned, my name is John Larney, and I'm with the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I'm also a Scout leader for over 50 years. And I think at this point, what I'll do is I'll take off my old Boy Scout hat and put on my VFW hat. So each year, the National VFW has a scholarship program available to any Eagle Scout or Girl Scout Gold recipient. And it's $5,000 first place, $3,000 second place, and $1,000 for third place. This year, we have chosen a Scout from Foxborough, Massachusetts, Sam Belanger. He did it for his Eagle Scout ceremony. He did a POW MAI stone arrangement in a local cemetery. He's also been his class president for his sophomore, junior, and senior years. He runs a food pantry. He's involved in community affairs. And he's recently been accepted to Vanderbilt University, where he'll be attending on an Air Force ROTC scholarship. Just coincidentally, he happens to be the 100th Eagle Scout from Troop 7 Foxborough. And so the state of Massachusetts is proud to have him be our Scout of the Year, and I have mailed him a check for $1,000 from the state of Massachusetts VFW. And the VFW and the Boy Scouts have been together since 1910. So thank you very much. Eagle Scouts, enjoy your future. We expect a lot from you.
Thank you, John, and thank you for all you do for Scouting and for the service to our country. And also congratulations to Sam on your VFW scholarship. Now we will hear from Brigadier General retired Emery Maddox from the Military Order of the World Wars for a special presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Maddox.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's an honor to be here, and it's in a little unusual situation for me. I've done a lot of public speaking over the years, but this is the first time ever as a recorded video to be presented to folks I can't see. So it's interesting not having your smiling faces to kind of give me some feedback as to how I'm doing. So bear with me, and we'll do the best we can. First and foremost, I want to thank you for inviting me to make this virtual presentation of certificates of commendation for your achievement as Eagle Scouts from the Military Order of the World Wars. Now, the Military Order is a 101-year-old patriotic service organization comprised primarily of retired or former and current United States military officers. Our motto is, it is better to serve than to be served. The motto segues nicely into my brief remarks. You as Eagle Scouts already know the reality of service excuse me, to your colleagues, your communities, and to your country. You understand what it means to belong to something that is bigger than yourselves, and you've learned the basics of leadership. Leadership will serve you as a citizen, as a business person, or a professional, and certainly if you choose to serve in the military or our government in any capacity. You've learned to set objectives, to define and achieve milestones, and to accomplish intermediate and final goals. Excuse me. You've learned to be mission oriented. You have learned some basics of character. And you've learned, we hope, that your word is your sacred bond. That a commitment is just that, a commitment. You have or should have learned to take responsibilities for your own actions. You and you alone are responsible for the decisions you take and the responsibilities you accept. If you learn the basics of working as a team, of cooperating to achieve a goal or goals, and you've learned that the team is the sum of all its parts. There's no I in team. You've learned that through your projects. As you develop your Eagle projects, you learn the basics of planning, resourcing, executing, and evaluating. If you learn these lessons well, you'll be successful in all aspects of life. I also hope that along the way, you failed once or twice. A successful leader has to learn how to get knocked down, to take a kick in the pants, and then get up and try again. You folks are the primary hope for our country, for our way of life. If history be repetitive, and I believe it is, you young leaders will be the leaders of business, of the learned professions, of the military, and of the government. If you accept this mantle of leadership, you will not always find life easy. It'll be interesting. It'll be exciting. You will strive for the competition to achieve. You will also learn that it is better to serve than to be served. That is the legacy of true leadership. We expect you to lead the way. Congratulations on your achievement. Remember, this is not the end. Rather, this is the beginning of your individual climb to greatness. Thank you.
Thank you, Emery, for your service to our country and to the Military Order of World Wars and their commitment to scouting. Our next award is the Glenn A. and Melinda W. Adams National Eagle Scout Service Project Award. This award was established to recognize the service of an exceptional nature by a scout to a religious institution, a school, community, or other entity. The award recognizes the individual for his Eagle Scout Leadership Service Project, which is part of the requirements for earning the Eagle Scout Award. Each local council will choose a council level recipient. A few of the evaluation criteria for this award include the extent and character of the leadership provided by the scout, the project's impact on the beneficiary and or the community at large, the originality of the project, the scope of the work, the time and materials contributed, and the level of skill employed to complete the project. This year, we had 19 outstanding, well-thought-out projects submitted to the committee for consideration. It was not an easy decision. This year, the Glenn A. and Melinda W. Adams National Eagle Scout Service Project Award is being presented to John Jack Riley of Troop 4 Hopkinton. Jack's project was the construction of a two-person soapbox derby car. This two-person car would allow a person with special needs to experience the fun of the soapbox derby race. The car was donated to the Arlington Soapbox Derby Club. Congratulations again to Jack and to Jack's parents. As we know, the parents put blood, sweat, and tears into the entire trail for Eagle and to the project as well. So nice work and congratulations. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the National Eagle Scout Association Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. This prestigious recognition is granted by the local council's NISA committee to Eagle Scouts who have brought great honor to the highest rank of the Boy Scouts of America through their professional and personal contributions at the local, state, and regional level. To be eligible, the recipient must be an Eagle Scout in good standing with the Boy Scouts of America and must either be registered with or have their primary residence in the boundaries of the nominating council. No length of time is required to have passed since earning the rank. Each recipient's actions and accomplishments should elevate the stature of Eagle Scout in the public eye, and each recipient shall be held to the standards set forth of the Scout Oath, Scout Law, and National BSA standards for membership. This distinguished award was presented by both Legacy Councils, Old Colony and Knox Trail, for the first time in 2012. The Mayflower Council presented this award at Recognition Dinner for the first time in 2018. With the assistance of the members of the Council's NISA committee, we will acknowledge the 5 recipients who, with the assistance of FedEx, received their certificates and medals last week. Gentlemen.
Hi, my name is Matt Bozanowski. I'm a member of the Mayflower Council National Eagle Scout Association Committee and a 2004 Eagle Scout. I have the honor of presenting the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to John Cox. John is a utility lineman for the South Shore area. He graduated from Weymouth Vocational Technical High School in 1990 and worked in transportation as a Teamster for 15 years. John later attended North Shore Community College, earning a certificate in energy utility technology. He has since had a career in this field. John is a 1981 Eagle Scout from Troop 19 Weymouth, joining the troop after being a Cub Scout in Pack 33. He's attended summer camp each year with his troop since 1988, also serving on the waterfront and kitchen staff. John currently serves as his troop's committee chair, a position he's held for over 20 years. John calls Weymouth his home, along with his wife, Nicole, and their 4 boys, 3 of whom are also Eagle Scouts. The National Eagle Scout Association and the Mayflower Council proudly present the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to John Cox in recognition of his distinguished achievements and contributions as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, John.
Good evening. My name is Sean Riley. I'm a member of the Mayflower Council National Eagle Scout Association Committee and an Eagle Scout from the class of 2003. I have the honor of presenting the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Doug Foley. Doug Foley is Eversource Energy's Vice President of Electric Field Operations, Massachusetts, and is responsible for leading field employees who maintain and construct the company's transmission and distribution systems for 1.3 million customers throughout the state. In addition, he serves as incident commander for major power restoration efforts and was manager of large-scale emergency operations. Doug joined Eversource in 1989 and has held various positions in the company's operations organization. Over the past 28 years, he has been a member of various professional, civic, and industry organizations, including Worcester Polytechnic Institute, where he's a member of the Strategic Energy Board. Doug is also an executive sponsor of Eversource's Young Professionals Business Group, which focuses on mentoring, supporting, and developing younger professional employees. Under Doug's leadership, Eversource in Massachusetts has been recognized with 2 Edison Electric Institute Emergency Recovery Awards, honoring the company's prompt and effective response to major storms. Eversource has also posted top-tier reliability performance in the industry. Doug is a 30-year veteran of the Boy Scouts of America. As a Cub Scout from Pack 14 in Braintree, he earned the Arrow of Light. He's an Eagle Scout from Troop 138 Braintree and holds several BSA awards, including Adultari Day, OA Brotherhood, Wilderness First Aid, and Boy Scout Leader Training. Doug attended Philmont Scout Reservation in the 1981 National Jamboree as a Scout. He's a former Cub Master and a committee chair for Pack 37 in Hanover. Doug served as committee chairman of Troop 38 in Hanover and is a Wood Badge Beaver, NE-1-261. Doug was the Scoutmaster of Troop 214C at the 2013 National Jamboree at the Betchel Summit and an Assistant Scoutmaster at the 2010 Centennial National Jamboree with Troop 539. Doug served as an executive board member and advancement chair of the Old Colony Council, and now as an executive board member of the Boy Scouts of America Mayflower Council. Doug holds master's degrees in business administration from Anna Maria College and Power Systems Management from Worcester Polytechnic Institute. He also holds a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering technology from Wentworth Institute of Technology. Doug resides in Hanover, Massachusetts with his wife Laura and their two children, Adam and Jenna. Adam is an Eagle Scout, class of 2012, and Jenna is a Girl Scout Gold Award recipient of the class of 2016. The National Eagle Scout Association and the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, proudly present the Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Doug Foley in recognition of his distinguished achievements and contributions as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Doug.
Good evening. My name is David Barnett, and I am a member of the Mayflower Council National Eagle Scout Association Committee and an Eagle Scout from the class of 1986. I have the honor of presenting the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Christopher Lammy. Chris earned his Arrow of Light Award and was presented his Eagle Scout Award on November 19th, 1999 from Troop 19 in Weymouth. He currently serves as Mayflower Council's training chairman. Through 12 years in council and district training roles, he has organized or taught at more than 100 training courses, coordinated training communications, and focused on improving the quality of training and the promotion that the idea of every scout deserves a trained leader. As a member of the council's training committee, I have seen the leadership skills Chris has. Like any great leader, he relies on the experience and knowledge the committee members have in their respected areas. Chris is not afraid to admit that he may not have all the answers to every question or problem. He's also not afraid to ask for assistance when there is a problem. Chris's leadership skills were proven again shortly after the merger of Knox Trail and Old Colony Councils. At that time, the training committees of both councils had to blend and start working together to form one committee for our new council. Chris's leadership skills were also put to a challenge, again currently, due to the pandemic of COVID-19. With his determination of providing quality training, Chris had to and continues to search out new ways to offer training opportunities for our adult leaders and scouts. From 2015 to 2018, Chris served on the National BSA Task Force that reviewed and updated the Wood Badge curriculum. In addition to his training roles, Chris has served as an Assistant Scoutmaster and Troop Committee member for Troop 19 Weymouth. He has served as a summer camp program director and helped to mentor and train youth leaders. He has also helped with a variety of events and initiatives as a member of the Sachem District Committee, including camporees, the district dinner, and the annual recognition awards. In college, he was part of a group that organized a Merit Badge University for Boston Minuteman, which is now Spirit of Adventure Council. It became an annual tradition, and Chris returned to teach oceanography Merit Badge there for 14 years. Outside of scouting, Chris is a vice president and senior scientist at Eastern Research Group, where he leads a team that helps government agencies develop educational materials and effective programs that protect the environment and human health. Chris lives in Watertown with his wife Michelle and son Zachary. The National Eagle Scout Association and the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, proudly presents the Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Christopher Larney in recognition of his distinguished achievements and contributions as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Chris.
Good evening. My name is Raymond Ewer. I am a member of the Mayflower Council National Eagle Scout Association Committee and an Eagle Scout from the class of 1971. I have the honor this evening of presenting the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Michael Rotar. Michael Rotar has a lifelong legacy with Scouting. During the Great Depression, Mike's father was forced to withdraw from Cub Scouts because his family could not afford to pay his dues. His father committed that he would provide his family with the opportunity to participate in Scouting. As a result, Mike joined Cub Scouts at age 8 and stayed involved in Scouting until he turned 18. At age 12, Mike became one of the youngest in the United States to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. Mike also enjoyed earning merit badges and earned 75 merit badges and 3 silver Eagle Palms before aging out. He attended the 1985 National Scout Jamboree at Fort A.P. Hill, Virginia, which included surviving the approaching Hurricane Bob, hearing the Beach Boys, and waiting all day in line for a bag from a new company called Apple. As an adult, Mike has a rich history of serving in various leadership roles in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In California, Mike served as an assistant scoutmaster and scoutmaster in multiple troops chartered by the church. Mike also served as the congregation's Young Men President from 2005 to 2009, working side by side with youth, and was instrumental in helping many young men attain the rank of Eagle Scout. He is a Brotherhood member of the Order of the Arrow and was tapped out for Vigil Honor within the past month. In his spare time, Mike coordinated Scouting for Food in 2005 to 2008 and helped organize countless overnighters. After moving to Massachusetts in 2009, it didn't take long before Mike was involved again with Scouting as an assistant scoutmaster, a role he served from 2011 to 2013 with Troop 156 in Weston. He has served in Troop 156 as an active committee member from 2011 to the present, and it was in this troop that Mike's son Brennan earned the rank of Eagle Scout in 2015. In the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mike began serving as the Boston Stake Young Men's Presidency in 2013 and served faithfully as president from 2014 to 2017. With his love of service and helping others, Mike encouraged PAC and Troop 156 to support Scouting for Food and served from 2011 to 2017 as the unit coordinator. In 2012, Mike attended Wood Badge, participating in course N1 330-12-2, and officially adopted the buffalo as his critter. Mike later served as staff on Wood Badge course N1 330-14-1 as a troop guide and N1 330-16-1 as assistant scoutmaster troop guides. Mike has encouraged many to participate in Wood Badge and share in his love of learning how to more effectively serve and lead others. In 2015, Mike joined the Knox Trail Council Executive Board on the Development Committee. In 2016, he played a key role in exploring the potential to merge with another council and developing and executing a successful plan to merge with Old Colony Council into the Mayflower Council. He became the first executive vice president of Mayflower Council in 2017 and assumed the role of Mayflower Council president in January 2018. Mike has worked in the retail industry for 25 years. He moved his family from California to Massachusetts in 2009 when he joined the TJX Companies as vice president, divisional merchandise manager. Currently, Mike is an executive over planning and allocation with Home Goods and Home Sense out of the TJX corporate office in Framingham. Mike has been married to his wife, Alicia, for over 20 years. They live in Sudbury with their 2 children, Brennan, age 18, and Cambria, age 14, both of whom attend school at Lincoln Sudbury Regional High School. The National Eagle Scout Association and the Mayflower Council Boy Scouts of America proudly present the Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to Michael Rotar in recognition of his distinguished achievements and contributions as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Mike.
Good evening. My name is David Barnett, and I am a member of the Mayflower Council National Eagle Scout Association Committee and an Eagle Scout from the class of 1986. I have the honor of presenting the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to A. Ross Triano. Ross Triano is the Director of Operations for VDA Incorporated, located in Somerville. VDA is an experimental marketing and event design agency. They produce large trade shows and events all over the country, both in person and virtually. He has spent a large portion of his life involved in large events as well as theatrical and television scenery. In his copious free time, Ross works or plays half the year designing and building scenery and special effects for Barrett's Haunted Mansion in Abington. During the actual haunt season, he runs the operations of the haunted attraction. Ross earned his Eagle Scout Award in 1983 while a member of Troop 205 in Newton. He currently is the chairman for Cranberry Harbors District, a member of the Mayflower Council Executive Board, as well as the advisor for Venture Crew 424 in Marshfield. He has been awarded the Silver Beaver Award, as well as both the Council and Area Level Venturing Leadership Award. He lives in Marshfield with his family. His 26-year-old son, Connor, is also an Eagle Scout. Samantha, his daughter, is 19 years old and very active in venturing, earning the Summit Awards, as well as being the current National Vice Chairman for Venturing. Ross's family currently has 3 generations involved in scouting, with his mother volunteering as a district religious emblems coordinator, and with luck, next year adding a 4th generation with his 4-year-old granddaughter, Lily, hopefully entering the Cub Scout program. The National Eagle Scout Association and the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, proudly presents the Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to A. Ross Triano in recognition of his distinguished achievements and contributions as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Ross.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's truly an honor to present this award and recognize all these deserving individuals this evening. All the leaders in our community who are accomplished, distinguished in their work, and successful in all they do, and who work so tirelessly supporting and representing the Mayflower Council and communicating the impact that scouting can make on a child and young adult. Congratulations again to all 5 of you. Well, this has certainly been an evening of celebration and recognition, and a pleasure for me to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. Congratulations and thank you to all of our distinguished honorees, the Eagle sponsors for your time, dedication to scouting, and your generosity. Again, to Major Keogh for the pens and for all of your time and effort you put in, and especially for the Eagle class of 2019. I want to thank Brigadier General Emery Maddox and the Military Order of the World Wars for their Eagle certificates, which will be sent to all the Eagles. And finally, and most importantly, thank you to the Eagle Scout class of 2019 for your excellence and your leadership. Good luck to you, and please know that we are very proud of you and wish you all the best in your future. After the benediction, please stay tuned as we will honor the Eagle class of 2019. On behalf of the Mayflower Council, Boy Scouts of America, I want to thank you for attending tonight's event. Have a good night, and remember, stay safe and stay active, and we'll see you on the Scouting Trail. Thank you so much.
As a benediction, I would like to read a prayer that we have been praying in our diocese and national church in the Orthodox Church in America. It's from the Orthodox Christian tradition, rather than something generic. And it's a prayer for those who have been suffering because of this virus and this plague that's been down upon us. And that's why we're gathering this way. And so I'd like to end with this. O God Almighty, Lord of heaven and earth and of all creation, visible and invisible, in thine ineffable goodness, look down upon us, thy people, gathered in thy holy name. Be our helper and defender in this day of affliction. Thou knowest our weakness. Thou hearest our cry in repentance and contrition of heart. O Lord, who lovest mankind, deliver us from the threat of the coronavirus. Send thine angel to watch over us and protect us. Grant health and recovering to those suffering from this virus. Guide the hands of physicians and preserve those who are healthy. Enable us to continue to serve our suffering brothers and sisters in peace, that together we may glorify thy most honorable and majestic name, of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, now and ever and unto ages of ages. Amen. The blessing of the Lord be upon you through his grace and love for mankind, always, now and ever, and unto ages of ages. Amen. Thanks for coming.